What's up, guys? Welcome to Strength for Today's Man. This is volume 52. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I appreciate you guys listening to the audio and watching the video. Thank you for subscribing and liking the podcast. Thank you guys so much for sharing the podcast as well. So what do you guys think of the new music? You like that? I'm loving the new music. We had hit our 50 episode mark, and I decided to change the music again. When we did 40, I changed the music. When we did, was it 30? One of the two. But anyway, I wanted to change up the music as we go along. And my wife, she really likes this one, so I think I did pretty good. All right, guys, I want to go to Mark 10:15 today. And I'm going to read this from the NIV. It says, "Truly, I tell you, anyone that does not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it." Sounds kind of harsh, doesn't it? But it's pretty simple when you think about it. So I want to talk about is just be like a child. And I'm not saying that in reference of being silly or being immature. But when you think about being childlike, you have to think about how soft-hearted a child can be, how honest a child can be, how forgiving a child can be. A child does not hold grudges that I know of. That's adults. We hold grudges for decades for something that somebody might have said or done to us, and we just hold grudges for years. But being childlike means being humble, having humility, being soft-hearted. But here in the word, it makes me think about far as entering in. There's a process of entering in. Even when we take a new job, we need to go through two things. There's actually a couple of more things, but there's the application process and the training period. You know, you got to fill out that long application. There's a background check. And then there's a training period because they want to make sure that you're the person that can handle the required task for that particular job. They want to make sure that you have the talents and the gifts and the education to be able to handle that position. I know that when my wife started with AAA some years ago, they put her up in a hotel for 6 months. Her training period for 6 months, they put her up, took care of her room and board, food, all the rest of that. They just took care of, which was awesome. They take care of their agents on that side. Other jobs have training periods where it's either 30 days, 90 days, 120 days. But whatever that training period is, there's a reason for that. They're making sure that you are the qualified person for the particular task that you filled out an application for. So if we believe the kingdom of God is bigger than any job we apply for, which it is, we would expect that entrance also requires a strenuous process. We would think that hearing this, man, it's hard to get into the kingdom of God. It's hard to get into the kingdom of heaven, but it's really not. This is why he's telling us to be like a child. Be like that little child, and you can enter into the kingdom of God. Jesus defies our expectations, and he explains that receiving the kingdom of God, not just entering, but receiving the kingdom of God requires humbleness and humility. Those two aspects are very important to our life. There has to be humbleness and there has to be humility. Not an application, not a training period. We don't have to fill out an application to enter in the kingdom of heaven. We don't have to have an application to be a Christian. There are a lot of organizations that will put you through their religious organization, doctrine, their denomination, whatever it is that denomination is, they'll put you through this strenuous, I call it brainwashing period. because they want you to look like them, dress like them, sound like them, talk like them, walk like them, eat like them. They're sending you through all this unnecessary process, and the kingdom of heaven is not like that. The kingdom of God is not like that. That's man. That's man-made. The process to enter the kingdom it's not strenuous, but it's not easy. Okay, let's get that straight. It's not strenuous. It's not a strenuous task. It's not a hard taskmaster, but it's not easy either. To become like a child means becoming dependent. We know that a child is very dependent on his parents. Very dependent on his parents. And so we have to be dependent. We become dependent. It means basically stripping away all of our outer crust, that ego that makes us strong and self-reliant. All of that has to be stripped away in order to be childlike. And it goes against, quote unquote, growing up and becoming independent. You know, when I was single, dating years ago, I said I wanted an independent woman that needed me. And when you think about that, you're like, independent woman that needs me. Yeah, she's independent because she's able to do for herself, but there are certain times that she really needs me. She actually needs me. And I found one. I married her. And she loves the fact that, one, I allow her to be independent. And two, she loves the fact that she can depend on me. So there's a balance that we have. And so here, when it talks about stripping away all that makes us strong and self-reliant, that truly goes against our mentality of growing up and being independent. But it makes complete sense. If we want to be grafted into the kingdom of God and become dependent on Him, that's why it makes a lot of sense for us to do that. When we are self-reliant, we buy into this lie that we are all we need. Have you met those people? I'm all I need. I don't need anybody help. I am it. I don't need your help. I'm good all by myself. That's a lie. That is like the biggest lie that we can tell ourselves is I'm all I need. No, you're not all you need. You need help. And you need to know that it's okay to ask for help. But when we commit to humbleness and humility, we realize how much we need God in our lives. See, that's the only way you're going to understand that you really need God in your life is when you commit to humbleness and humility. If we receive the kingdom like a little child, humbly and dependent, you know what happens? We will be able to accomplish more than we ever could on our own. And I'm going to close with this. God, humble my spirit and make me more reliant on you. Help me become like a little child so I can receive the kingdom with awe and wonder. Guys, just be like a little child. Don't make it hard. Don't make it difficult. You don't have to jump through hoops. You don't have to go through an application process. You don't have to go through those doctrinal, denominational training processes in order to be a witness of God. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of riff on what I just said, but think about what I said and how it depends on making it into the kingdom. It's so easy, but it's not. It's complex. This is Strength for Today's Man, Volume 52. I'm Malachi Mitchell. You guys go out there, be like a child. Not silly, not immature, but dependent on God. And I'm going to definitely meet you right back here on the next podcast. You guys be blessed today.